listened to that fake CNN reporting and the fake New York Times. They worked together.
Here's how you know that Trump really wants to be a dictator.
No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
It's almost like he read the handbook.
Here's the thing. Trump's interest in Hitler and Nazi Germany, it's not a recent development. Several journalists have documented it. Michael Bender of the Wall Street Journal wrote in his 2021 book about how in 2018, Trump told his then chief of staff, retired four-star General John Kelly, as Kelly was explaining to Trump who the allies and enemies were in both world wars, quote, "Well, Hitler did a lot of good things," praising the Fuhrer for his economic policies. Now, Kelly pushed back as Trump reportedly persisted speaking positively about Hitler. Trump later denied making those comments. But in 2022, Susan Glasser and Peter Baker wrote in their book, The Divider, about how Trump, frustrated by his military leadership, exclaimed to Kelly as well, "You effing generals, why can't you be more like the German generals?"
Everyone from Lenin to Hitler to Trump's pen pals, Putin, Erdogan, Orban, they all do this. They shut down the press and then replace it with their version.
They're coming here in the name of Jesus from South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here.
I think that was Trump's first pick for press secretary before settling on Propaganda Barbie, who is the perfect lying troll for pouty fuckwinkle.
It's not fair.
For Trump, his lying machine has been Fox News most of the time.
I think changes are going to be made to the media,
But recently, Ducey Jr. has been pushing back on Barbie and pushing back hard.
According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
I've got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
So Trump is again attacking the press. And with his success in the past, like getting Paramount to fork up a few million so Trump would allow an $8 billion merger, he's now going after CNN and, of course, the failing New York Times. And with his success in the past, lying thousands of times about everything from losing elections to Jeffrey Epstein, why not continue? We'll get to Epstein in a minute.
a little downbeat because they listened to that fake CNN reporting and the fake New York Times. They worked together to try and say that it wasn't perfect. They couldn't say what they missed. All they could say is, maybe it wasn't perfect. And you ought to fire that reporter immediately. You should fire her. Real fake. And so I just want to congratulate those pilots. And, you know, a lot of people don't like bringing things like that up. I do. I always like confronting, because otherwise the public doesn't know that you're a bunch of crooked people.
It's only corrupt in Trump's eyes. Let's take the suckers and losers comment Trump made referring to veterans and especially those who died in combat. John Kelly, a conservative, and Trump's former chief of staff, whose son died in service to our country, witnessed Trump saying this and told a dozen people the day it happened.
At the time, it seemed odd. The President of the United States skipping a ceremony to honor Americans killed in the First World War, blaming the weather, even though other officials made it. The Atlantic magazine reports that on that specific visit, Donald Trump told staff, "Why should I go to that cemetery? It's filled with losers." Later, he called 1,800 Americans who died in the legendary Battle of Belleau Wood suckers for getting killed.
So who do you believe? John Kelly or a man who travels with a hairstylist and orange makeup?
For all of the above reasons, I respectfully decline to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded. This will be my answer to any further questions.
So let's recap. Pete Kegsbreath lied when he said these two things. The bombing raid successfully destroyed the nuclear facilities, and 2, the raid destroyed the nuclear material. Both have been proven to be false, and proven by our own intelligence that was leaked by responsible members of the intelligence community. We also intercepted Iranian officials communicating and congratulating each other on the minimal damage caused by our bombers.
A little downbeat because they listened to that fake CNN reporting.
And as far as a pilot's feeling depressed, what? Is Trump now Dr. Phil? But again, he's just lying, and his rapidly declining mental state is even more apparent.
It's hard to have a really successful country if you have a corrupt media, and we really have a corrupt media. And nobody really knows why. I mean, why would you want to have open borders and criminals pouring into our country? Why would you want to have men playing in women's sports, transgender for everyone? You know, you'll have to figure that out.
What? The borders have never been open, and here's a fact you might want to check. More people came into the U.S. illegally during Trump's 4 years than either Obama or Biden. And then Trump swivels to talk about transgender swimmers. Look, the president of the NCAA says that in 2024, there were 10 transgender swimmers in college sports. 10. And Trump thinks it's more important talking about that than farmers losing their farms to Trump's tariffs or Russian missiles killing women and children in Ukraine. And even then, Trump lied back in 2024, saying parents were sending their kids to school and having them come home with their genitalia removed. I'm fucking serious.
The transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And, you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me?
And coming up, you'll hear Trump attack the media on the Epstein missing client list. But first, I want to tell you that if you're looking at Medicare right now, it's easy to miss things because, look, the Medicare supplemental industry is a nightmare. Fortunately, I learned about this company called Chapter. And after a quick 30-minute call with Chapter, my wife and I are going to save between, hold on to your hats, $50,000 to $80,000 over the course of our lives. Yeah, I think that's worth a call, don't you think? Chapter is the only national Medicare advisor that compares every available plan. And when you call, you're going to talk to an honest, unbiased advisor who's going to walk you through everything step by step. That's how it worked for me. And if you're already on the right plan, Chapter will tell you that too. Call Chapter right now. Mention Chip Franklin when you call the number on the screen. 816-953-0071. That's 816-953-0071. All right, so you heard the DOJ obviously lying about there being no client list. I mean, especially after they just told us there was a client list.
It's sitting on my desk right now.
So why doesn't Trump want to talk about it? Understand that Trump lied about being on Epstein's plane and going to his island, even after Manifest showed he went there 7 times.
So the connection between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein isn't new news. Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years, even stating that Epstein, quote, likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. In 2021, as part of Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, it was revealed that Donald Trump lied about riding on Epstein's plane. He actually flew on it 7 times, but the flight logs do not include the ages of the passengers.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
So wow, again, Trump is telling the media what they should cover, especially when their coverage might make him look bad, or even worse. And as I mentioned before, Fox's coverage, which is essentially 5 shows, Fox and Friends, The Five, Hannity, Waters, and Ingram, is struggling now because even these lowlifes can't spin pedophilia. Ultimately, Trump has in place the right people for attacking our freedoms, starting with these 6 justices who have in effect given Trump the ultimate power to silence his critics in the media and the Democratic Party.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could.
And whom better to attack the media than Kash Patel?
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
So I ask again, if we put Epstein and Maxwell in jail for prostitution with minors and there is no client list, then who are the girls having sex with? And Trump knows all this. And as much as man titties wants, he can't just raid the offices of CNN and the New York Times. So he'll pull together his billionaire buddies and try to tear them down financially. And that could work. But if it does, what's next? Will Trump start hiring people from Fox to be in his government? Oh shit, wait a second.
100 pounds of beer on the wall, 100 pounds of beer.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Goddamn right.
Do you have no shame?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donna.
think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.